Dihydrotestosterone is perhaps the most potent male androgen. Compared to testosterone, it's actually 3 to 5 times more potent at the androgen receptor, the acceptor of testosterone. So the androgen receptors are actually they want dihydrotestosterone more than testosterone, and so because of this, it can have a likely higher, more anabolic, as in greater propensity to build muscle. So why do so many people not like it? Whenever I make a video on DHT talking about how to optimize it, people don't really like the idea of DHT, and this is for a variety of reasons. Now, the greatest reason I would say is that a lot of looks maxers online, they really demonize it because they have the male pattern baldness genetic. Meaning that when they have elevated levels of DHT simply because of their natural development and they have the male pattern baldness genetic, they start to lose their hair. They actually start to lose their hair, and what ends up happening is that even though this androgen is more potent, having higher levels of it can actually impair their hair health. And so because of this, then different doctors prescribe finasteride and dutasteride that are 5-alpha reductase blockers. So 5-alpha reductase is the enzyme that converts testosterone into dihydrotestosterone. It's a more potent version. But because of the hair loss possibilities and also the genetic possibility of having prostate issues, because of things like prostate cancer or just things like that, it's actually because of people who have the genetic predisposition. So it's like if I was more likely to break my legs genetically, just like some random example. Or it's like if I was more genetically predispositioned to have worse eyes, things like that. Would I blame what I do because in saying that it caused me to have it, or am I just more likely to have it? That's the question. However, there is nuance in these things, and basically what intelligence is being able to understand nuance and discern nuance. So putting that together, it's important to understand that dihydrotestosterone can actually be very, very beneficial for a person when they are hormonally optimizing, especially if their genetics allow them to not actually have the side effects of high levels of dihydrotestosterone. Because DHT can cause you to have more neuromuscular adaptation, as in being able to recruit more muscle fibers to be stronger, and it can also just cause you to build more muscle better. And the thing is, if you don't have the prostate issues, if you don't have the hair loss issues, it should be something that you should optimize. You can optimize it by having creatine. There was a study with rugby players where they had it for a week and it spiked 56%, and then they continued to have it with maintenance and it stayed at 40% above baseline of the original, for the rest of the time that they were taking creatine, and that helps a bunch too. That's just one example. There's also zinc plus copper balance. Taking those is really good. But also, I think that altogether there is just a misunderstanding when it comes to dihydrotestosterone. It's very demonized because people like to look on the negatives because that's how people survive. They're afraid of these things. The truth is that if you are not genetically predispositioned to have these problems, then you should be fine. Now, if you know your family history has these problems, or even if you start to notice these problems, then just stop. Just do things to minimize your dihydrotestosterone. That's the beauty of hormonal optimization, is that everybody's different, but there is always something you can do for your situation. That's the pretty great thing. So, just to recap, you can optimize your DHT by taking creatine, by increasing it like that. But if you want to decrease it, you can have finasteride and dutasteride. Also, rosemary oil on your hair, on your scalp is a 5-alpha reductase blocker, and so you can use that on your scalp to reduce your hair loss. And this stuff for the prostate issues, you would just take finasteride and dutasteride. Also, prostate health is better if you end up busting more, if you have more sexual intercourse, with women. I sound like sexual intercourse. Actually, all right, but you get it. If you have prostate issues, then just consult with your doctor and you should be good. Otherwise, it's a great hormone to be hormonally optimizing and making sure you get higher. Other than that, if you want to optimize your hormones and have a community of like-minded men that are striving to get 315 bench and 405 squat, already got 325 bench and 405 squat, and who are optimizing their human potential, check the first link in the description below and like the video, bro.